Hey everybody, how's it going? So today I want to talk a little bit about what I see going on at Amazon, some of my opinions as a business owner, and I'd be interested in hearing from the people at Amazon who are speaking out about this, and I'd also be interested in hearing from the Amazon management side, because I don't have much trust for what I read in the news anymore, given how I've seen coverage of things that I myself am involved in. So what I'm going to do here is let's just play you some of the concerns that people at Amazon are having first. I'm going to be taking these from a Twitter account called NYC Amazonians. This is Amazonians United, New York City. So this is one of the ones the tweets that explains the concerns.
Workers, but our lives are not essential. We are asking for basic needs. Cleanliness, which is what they're saying all over the news. Wash your hands. We don't even have enough time to wash our hands.
So they're saying that they don't have enough time to wash their hands, which is part of what, the CDC says. Wash your hands, maintain 6 feet, social distancing. Also over here, there are complaints because this gentleman is bringing up that they weren't made aware until about 10 or 20 minutes before their shift started that there was a positive case of coronavirus in the warehouse.
9:52. 20 minutes before our shift.
There were also complaints about quarantine pay. Bezos still hasn't given us our legally mandated quarantine pay. Why are you asking Cardi B for help? Come on. And then there was this other one regarding, they're going to try to make time to clean by waiting on shipping some certain non-essential items. But one of the things that I said in my last video is that essential is very, very subjective. If you use a ThinkPad, a Mac repair shop is not essential. If you run your business off of a Mac and you're forced to work from home, it is essential. If you don't drink alcohol, liquor is not essential. If you're an alcoholic, alcohol is essential, because if you don't drink, you could actually wind up in the hospital if you are genuinely addicted to it and you're asked to go cold turkey, which I imagine is why liquor stores in New York are staying open and considered essential. But anyway, this gentleman brought up a really very interesting point regarding what is essential.
And until you close this building, shut it down. Dildos are not essential items.
I'm sorry.
Books for kids, yes, but dildos? No.
And if you take a look at this. I could buy myself a dildo and get it by Thursday. Don't know why all the dildos are circumcised. It's kind of weird. But anyway, Erica was pointing out that she wanted to buy a drying rack, that it would take longer to buy the drying rack than it would to get the dildo. The drying rack to dry your laundry if you're doing laundry from home because the laundromat's closed is less essential than the dildo. And I can understand why people want to work in a clean environment. I can understand in a fast-paced environment like an Amazon warehouse where there are incentive structures to keep people from doing things like washing their hands. Or it's easy to say wash your hands, but it's hard to do that when your metrics don't allow you to use the bathroom. This seems like a failure of management. Even if you do care about the health of your employees, even if you are taking measures to care about the health of your employees, why is it that so many of your employees feel like you don't? That's a problem. At the end of the day, regardless of what my employees say or do, at the end, I hired them. It's my fault. And if the company that I run is run like trash, then even if my employees had a say in it, I set the company culture. I'm the one who hired them. I'm the one who set this place up. I'm the one who gets to choose how everything is done. Why is it that I've set up a company culture where people think that I don't care about their health? This is something that is fairly simple to resolve. So, at my own business, what we did is we set up a barrier between the customers and us and a second set of tables. So the customer comes in, they're 7 feet away from a table. They put their stuff on the table. We only come up to go to the table once they've sat down. Once they've sat down, we show up, spray the thing with alcohol, take it to the desk, clean it up again with alcohol, give them an idea what's wrong with it. If they want to leave it, they can leave it. They fill out a little form in the front. If they don't want to leave it, they have to go sit back down again. We go to the table, and they can only come to the table once we've sat back down again so that we maintain our distance. After they leave, I'll usually come out. I will clean the door handle. I will clean where they sat. I will clean the table. All this stuff gets cleaned on a regular basis. People's desks, we are asking to clean everything from the handpiece to your quick hot air station, the buttons in your power supply, your soldering iron, your seat, your desk, all this stuff. Wipe it down regularly. Stop your work about a half hour to 40 minutes early so that you can actually clean your desk, clean your workstation. I don't care if you get 1 or 2 or 3 less repairs done a day because you're busy cleaning. Do the cleaning. We give people masks. We give people alcohol and everything to clean their desks with. There's a reason that we do this. And some people are going to say, Louis, that's not perfect. You don't understand. Just because you have that 550D air scrubber in the front, just because you're doing all this stuff doesn't mean that it's perfect. That's not the perfect way you're supposed to clean. You're supposed to do this other thing that you're not doing. And as people tell me what I'm doing wrong, I'm incorporating it. But the point is, you're right. I can't be 110% certain that I am corona-free. But what I can do is I'm using all the resources and knowledge at my disposal to allow everyone here to keep their environment as clean as humanly possible. That's what I can do. And honestly, that's all I think these employees are asking for. These people that work at Amazon, they're not showing up with fucking electron microscopes and examining surfaces and saying, the packing tape had a corona cell on it, I'm protesting. No, they're not. They simply want management to seem like they value the lives of the employees over getting 5 extra products out the door. They're not showing up at microscopes to stare and see if the cell is there. If after there was a positive case of coronavirus, or after you heard about corona, you saw that there was 1 or 3 or 5 extra janitors bleaching down shit while they said, employees, can you guys just wait over there for like 4 or 6 hours while they do this cleaning and then you go back to work? And when you came back, it reeked of bleach or alcohol or Pine Sol or something. I don't think that you'd see these protests, but I think the reason that you're seeing these protests is because that stuff is not being done. And it doesn't take much to deal with this. Honestly, all you have to do, even if there is a rumbling that starts, is just have management come out, take the employees, 6-7 feet apart, and say, listen, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Lots of stores are closed. People are relying on us to get food and other items to them. But at the same time, I understand that you all have concerns about your health. You don't want to get sick and die working here either. What can we do to make you feel better? What can we do to have you understand that we take these concerns seriously? What is it you want us to provide you? Do you want a little bit more time? Do you want us to take a day off? Do you want to just put the dates back on the website? Do you want us to clean things differently? Are you not happy with the materials? Do you want me to loosen the metrics a little bit? What can I do as your supervisor to make you believe that we value your life over getting a dildo out the door? And then you let everybody speak amongst themselves and come to a consensus. And then if you're able to do it, you do it. If it's not in your authority to do, then you bring it up the chain of command and ask them. Well, here's their demands. What can we do? Okay, you can do that, but not that? Okay, let's come back to them. Okay, well, they said that that's not okay. And honestly, as a supervisor, yeah, I'm seeing that whole having to ship dildos and not clean the warehouse is kind of bullshit too. So no, we're not doing that. And you go back and forth. But that does not appear to be that back and forth here. There appears to be the, don't worry, we're doing everything we possibly can. That's not what people want to hear. What people want to hear is, listen, I hear your concerns. What would you be comfortable with? It's not hard to have that conversation of what would you be comfortable with. Everybody understands that this is a shit show and not something that normally happens. For my own business. So I posted in my company chat a few weeks ago the following. I said, I face this as an issue, and I suppose I should lay it out all here on the table as honestly as I can. The city has mandated a week of sick leave for those staying at home, and I believe a month and a half of paid family leave after that. If everyone takes this at the same time, there will likely be no more company. Some people here live with elderly and children, and I'm not going to ask you to show up if you don't wish to. At the same time, for the next month and a half, if nobody shows up, there's likely not going to be a business to come back to. What are your thoughts? I appreciate all the work everyone here has done for the time you've been here, and I won't stop appreciating what you have done or what you do in the future as a result of what you do from here. This is management coming to your employees and saying, listen, this is a shit situation. Here's the reality of it. What can we do together to get through this? What do you think we should do? Because there's no getting out of this easily. Some people you're going to have to make a choice. Are people pissed now or pissed later? Is this group of people pissed off? Is that group of people pissed off? Is this group of people going to hate me or is that group of people going to hate me? But the way that you get it to be a minimal amount is you just have these conversations out in the open and see what happens. So we came up with cleaning procedures that admittedly people on my staff think are overkill, having this loud, ridiculous scrubber, cleaning shit, over 10 times a day, cleaning the door handle every time someone uses it. Some people here think I'm being a little OCD with it, but no, it's not like they're going to complain. As long as I'm not saying you need to do all this cleaning and do the exact same number of machines a day you used to, they don't care. They're getting paid to do what I ask. It's not like their pay changes or I'm going to yell at them more because they spend more time cleaning. But what makes this really sad is when you read on Vice that they think that this is a PR game. So here, leaked Amazon memo details plan to smear fired warehouse organizer. He's not smart or articulate, and to the extent the press wants to focus on us versus him, we will be in a much stronger PR position than simply explaining for the umpteenth time that we're trying to protect workers, wrote Amazon General Counsel David Sapolsky. Wrong. You're not in a better PR position. The entire point of being able to do good PR is not to fix it after the fact. It's to prevent it from ever getting to this point to begin with. If you were good at PR, if you were in a strong PR position, what you would do is you would have went to all these workers and said, what can we do to calm your concerns? What can we do so that this doesn't get to the point of being a protest that's in the news? Let us know what we can do and we'll do it. And we'll work with you all to come up with something that's reasonable. That's strong PR. Allowing it to get to the point where you're viewed as firing people for staging a protest, and then you have a bunch of other people that are protesting and getting on the news at the same time, that's not a fucking strong PR position. That's a shit PR position. And, admittedly, reading this article, when they say that this is like the worst thing in the world, I've probably said worse things about my staff. I mean, fuck, my staff's probably said worse things about me. He's not smart or articulate. And to the extent the press want to focus on us versus him, this is not the worst. It's not nice, but, it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not saying it's nice. I'm just saying that, he's not smart or articulate. I get it. It's not a nice thing to say, but, you've said nastier things about your coworkers, I'm sure. But the point is, this is not the way this is supposed to go. This type of PR thing. Now, the flip side of this would be I've read from some more conservative editorial pages and opinion pages that this is just a case of a group of people that want to milk Amazon for more money by using a crisis to, take advantage or whatever. They want to ask for more money because people need Amazon now more than ever, and they think they can get more money out of it. And I do see people asking for more money, but I don't see where it's necessarily unreasonable if you're going to get asked to work in a warehouse that's not clean. If you're not going to clean the place, then they're asking for hazard pay. So they're saying, listen, if you're not going to actually clean shit after people test positive, or you're not going to do what is necessary to make us feel safe, then we're going to ask for hazard pay. And I wouldn't be surprised if my own staff did the exact same thing. If I said, I'm not cleaning any of these laptops as they come in, the customers can just walk up to the table you're at just like they could before. I'm not, there's not going to be an air filter here. I'm not going to give you alcohol and stuff to clean your desk. I'm not going to supply you with masks. And you have to work so fast that you probably can't you're not going to have time to wash your hands or change your gloves. Then I would probably expect them to say, listen, you're asking me to work in a dangerous environment. I'm not doing this. What happened first? Is it that they're asking for more money and then saying it's unsanitary? Or is it that the place is unsanitary and because of it, they're asking for more money? And I tend to believe that it is the latter in lack of details, just from what I know about Amazon as a company. Now, in Amazon's defense, the only defense that I could really do a devil's advocate for here for Amazon when it comes to we don't have time to wash our hands is from my own experiences with people that didn't live up to the standard of a job. So I've hired people where it took them 30 to 40 minutes to replace an iPhone screen. I'm not talking about the iPhone 4 where, if you were new, it's really difficult. I'm talking about the 5. I'm talking about giving them a pre-assembled screen where the home button, the earpiece, the front-facing camera was all already there. All they had to do, take 2 screws out of the bottom, unplug battery, take 3 screws out, unplug old screen, put new screen in, flop, back to customer. 2 to 3 minutes max, and you're done. Where I've had people that after several months still could not do that. And I remember, I'm never going to forget this, having a customer send an email afterwards saying, it's shameful the way that your boss did not help you with all the mountain of work that you had to do and just sat there playing with that doll. Shame. Someone had actually sent me in the mail a little sheep squeeze toy, and I was fixing boards in the office, I came up. I just wanted to see how fast she was doing the job. And I saw that she was still on the same iPhone about 20 minutes later. And I looked at the queue and I said, this is enough. You should be able to handle it yourself. Let's see what happens. And I went back to my office. That's the only way I'm going to figure out if you can keep up, is by putting you in that hot seat. And putting that person in that hot seat made me look awful, because the customer's view is, wow, this person has 3 phones in their queue and this jackass is just watching you meanly. It's like, yeah, you had 3 phones in your queue, but it took you a half hour to fix the first one, another half hour to fix the second one, like it's a screen. And you work here for like 3 months, so what's up with that? Is that if you hire people that are not up to the standard to do the job, they're going to not have the time to use the bathroom or to go on break or do these things, because they are using that time to do their job because they're afraid of getting fired. What that experience taught me is you need to let go of people that are not able to do the job, because they're then going to blame you when they don't have time for things, or customers are going to think that you're cruel. That customer that wrote that email really thought that I was being cruel by expecting that in an hour and a half, you're able to replace the screen on more than 3 iPhone 5s. I think that after a few months of training, if you have a fully assembled iPhone 5 screen, like home buttons there, earpiece, front-facing camera, that it should not take you longer than 10 minutes a phone. Probably 3, I'm being generous. 30 to 40 is ridiculous. But the way that the customer saw it is that I was this evil business owner because I was not helping her with this overload of work that showed up when 3 fucking iPhones walked in the entire afternoon, which is nothing. And I do wonder here, is this a case where the Amazon workers that say we don't have time to wash our hands, is it because Amazon standards are ridiculous, or is it because the workers themselves are really slow, they're working slower than they should be, and as a result it seems like more work than it is? Again, I tend to believe the worker here. I tend to believe that Amazon's metrics are absolutely insane, and no sane person is going to be able to work to that standard unless they cut corners in their job or cut corners in their own personal hygiene. I'm just trying to come up with what Amazon's argument for this could possibly be. And as a business owner who has experienced this before, whether it's with people replying to tickets or doing repairs, I have had people experience this where you see they're highly stressed. They don't believe they even have time to go on lunch break because they can't do their job right. And they're trying their best not to get fired because they're not living up to standards. And then it makes you look like a slave driver when in reality, the person is simply not fit for the job. If after 3 months, it takes you 40 minutes to replace an iPhone 5 screen, sorry, you got to go. I don't know, because I don't work at Amazon. I've never been inside of an Amazon warehouse, and I haven't spoken to any of these individuals. Bezos still hasn't given us our legally mandated quarantine pay. I am Cardi B. Can you help boost our... It's the law here that you have to give people a certain amount of sick days. So there are members of my staff that live with the elderly or take care of their kids, and those people are staying home, and they are getting paid to stay home and not work. That's the law. And if I can follow that law with 12 to 14 people, it's really hard for me to understand how Amazon with their money can. And again, I'm honest with everybody. I put it out on the table for them. I said, if every single person takes this and I have to pay every single bill and there is no income, like that's the law. It is the law, but that also reality will be that 2 months from now, there will not be a company anymore. And like, well, what do we do to resolve this? I'm not trying to be a slave driver or an asshole. I'm simply putting it on the table. This is the reality. What can we do to work through this time the best we can together? What suggestions do you have? What can we do? And it never even got to the point of people screaming at each other. People weren't agitated at each other. There wasn't no like throwing shit. There wasn't protests. It was just an honest conversation. And yeah, it is difficult, and it is difficult to make yourself vulnerable and put that stuff on the table. But sometimes like you just have to do it. And I don't see them doing it. And this point in particular about the lack of pay, it's just, if I'm expected to pay people with what's in my bank account, I really don't understand how Amazon is not paying people with what is in their bank account. Now, throughout this video, I've been making certain assumptions because, again, I don't work at Amazon. I really would be interested in hearing from people who do. If you're a member of this Amazonians United New York City Twitter account or you work there, I'd love to hear from you. My email is lewis@rossmangroup.com. If you're a member of Amazon management and you think that these people are just complainers and making shit up, I'd also like to hear from you. lewis@rossmangroup.com. I will not take what you say out of context. If you wish to be published, I will put the whole of what you say. I'm not not just going to quote mine you and take little bits and pieces here and there and try to make you look bad or try to suit a particular narrative. I'm really curious in getting to the truth of this. So don't get it twisted. I get it. Cardi B is better looking. Cardi B is more popular and easier on the eyes. I understand why you would prefer that she be the one boosting this. But if you would like to have a conversation, I'd love to have you on for an interview, whether email, video, audio, anything like that. If there's anything that you feel that should be being promoted or said that is not being said, if there's anything that you think is being hid, I would love to post this stuff so that people can see on your behalf.